Sup? This is Greggatron. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. This video is about motorcycles. Some of you might know I got a 2003 Goldwing recently, and that's what I'm talking about. So Friday night when I got off work, I got on it, went to a parking lot, practiced my turning, my turn signal, practiced the friction zone, controlling the clutch, all that good stuff. And it was just incredible. Alright, it was outstanding. And when I was actually on the bike, it was like I was in the class all over again this past October or September, whatever it was. It was almost identical to the class. I could hear my instructor. I had two instructors. I won't say y'all's names because I don't want to dox people. But their voices were in my head as far as what to do. You know what I'm saying? And in my head, I'm like, got it, coach. Because we used to call him coach, right? I feel you, coach. But it was just so cool. So shout out to my coaches. And I have homies also with bikes, whether they be men I used to work with years ago. I got coworkers today. They tell me some good stuff about the bikes. Or just people who I met recently through bikes. So shout out to you guys who have given me some good stuff along the way. Because I don't think I have enough sense to do this on my own without the advice. Or without the class, obviously. You gotta. I mean, people learn how to ride bikes naturally, but you're supposed to have a license to do it right. But it was really hard to explain how great it was on the road. First of all, it was nighttime, and I was told by my homie, shout out to you, right at night, man, there's nobody out. You know, that was a good idea. There was nobody around. It was quiet. It was peaceful. I was at peace. I was in the zone, man. Because it took about 10 minutes just to get to the parking lot where I went. But the ride from my house to that spot was just incredible. I just felt so calm and relaxed and at peace. And I've been watching some YouTube videos. First of all, I will give a shout out to you. Boots and jeans riders. Shout out to you. So this is a couple who, they travel the whole country on their Goldwings. It's a husband and wife. And they meet up with all these amazing people, whether it be friends or families or bike people. They go in groups or sometimes they just go on their own. These guys traveled the whole country in 367 days. Shout out to that video. Almost a whole year. You know that movie Around the World in, what was it, 80 days or something? Well, this was around the world in 367 days. Shout out to you guys. So, where was I going with that? I can't remember how I got on them, but it's incredible. And it kind of goes back to don't let people talk you out of stuff, which I said in an earlier video. Because I remember Satan was saying before I got on my bike, I don't think you should do that. That's not a good idea. It's wet out there. It rained earlier and all this stuff. He really will try to talk you out of what you want to do. So it all goes back to, if you really want to do something, do it. If you excel in it, especially, do it. But yeah, shout out to Boots and Jeans riders. I feel like I go through different phases in my life, right? That's funny. First, I was collecting swords. Or actually, I was collecting action figures, then swords. Then I got into weightlifting. Now I'm into this. That's funny. I'm not really going through phases. I'm just saying it's a funny way to look at it. But I had a point when I brought them up. Oh, I was just saying how peaceful it was. Oh, and as far as your videos, Boots and Jeans Riders, he also is an instructor himself. And I could kind of hear his voice in my head too. Because the way he talks is real peaceful. I keep using the word peaceful a lot, but that's what getting on a motorcycle is all about, okay? So, it's really easy to listen to him explain things with motorcycles, the turning, the U-turns, the friction zone, etc., because again, he's a I don't know if he's a former instructor or if he's still instructing now. I think he's retired, but he makes it extremely simple to understand. Oh, I was going to say, when I was actually on the bike, most of it, and I told my coworker this yesterday, shout out to you, coworker. I told him that most of it was just me leaning back and forth. Most of it. And when you're in town, you're only going to be in first or second gear, third at the most. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling my coworker I got to practice my gear shifting and the friction zone I need more practice with. But that's really all I was doing. Turn on your turn signal, you lean one way, and the bike will go with it. But the crazy thing about a Goldwing is it's between 800 to 1,000 pounds, okay? But it didn't feel that heavy at all when I was on it. It almost felt the same weight as my practice bike from the class. And the practice bike was a Yamaha 250, something, a little sports bike, which it was actually the same size as my electric bike. So I had some experience as far as swerving and that sort of thing, thanks to that. But most of it was just body control and leaning and staying present. But like I said, there was no traffic out, which that was great. The weather was really nice that night. I turned on my high beams. I was in the city, which I probably shouldn't have, but I wanted to turn them on just to be on the safe side. Nobody pulled me over or anything like that, which if they did, so be it. I'll explain, hey, you know, this is my first time on it. I'm just making sure I got some high visibility, you know what I'm saying? But I can probably talk for 20 more minutes. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I just want to say, if you want to get a motorcycle, do it. But if you're not sure, talk to some people, some like-minded people. Surround yourself with people, again, who are positive, but people who have the same interests as you. For example, if you're into fitness, you don't want to surround yourself with a bunch of drinkers because they're not living the same lifestyle you're living. They're going to make you be a drinker because you're around it constantly, right? So if you really are fascinated or interested in buying a motorcycle, don't let anybody stop you from doing it. Does that make sense? And there's people out there who specialize in this type of thing. They will help you along the line. And as far as the classes go, the instructors, they want you to pass the class. Honestly, I didn't even think I was going to pass it, okay? But they want you to pass the class, in my opinion, because it makes their teaching look better. And obviously, once you get the bike, you're going to practice more and more and more. But these coworkers, these friends, these people you bump into, they don't want you to fail. Why would a fellow rider want a different rider to fail? That doesn't make sense. That goes against the whole togetherness of being on the bikes. I got people who they want to take me out on the bikes, and I'm hardly even riding mine yet. But they're already inviting me, hey, you should go out with me and some people. You know what I'm saying? And I've had people over the years say stuff like, I told you I went skydiving. They said, Greg, that's a white people thing. That's what white people do. Black people don't jump out of planes. But I wanted to do it, so I did it. Why make it about my blackness? Why can't I just do exciting stuff like other people? Not that I was doing it because they were doing it. I wanted to go skydiving since that movie Power Rangers, the old Power Rangers from the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it might be. Don't let people talk you out of stuff. And if you fail, let's say you fall off your bike. When I put my glasses up, that glare from the sun hits it. But if you fail, so be it. It's okay to fail. There was a quote in The Dark Knight. It might have been Batman Begins when Alfred told Bruce Wayne, why do we fall, Master Bruce? So we learn how to pick ourselves back up. And that stuck with me 20 years later because it's such a good quote. If you fail, that's an opportunity for you to examine what went wrong so you can fix it. Not to get off topic too much, but look at Michael Jordan. You know how many times that dude lost before he started really, really winning? They think because this man won 6 championships that he won all his games. He didn't. Before he was winning championships, he was losing. Okay? Same thing on a motorcycle. If you want to do it, try it, learn it, master it, perfect it, excel in it. And this goes back to whatever you do it right, even if it's something wrong. I'm not promoting this, but even if you're robbing a bank, be the best bank robber you can be. I'm not serious, but I am. Does that make sense a little bit? But yeah, shout out to my homies. Shout out to my former instructors. Shout out to Boots and Jeans riders. I'll put y'all in the description box. But earlier I said the bike is almost 1,000 pounds. But once you're on it, it didn't feel like 1,000 pounds at all. So I understand now what one of my homies was saying as far as it being one of the most stable bikes. And another thing, these mechanics and these designers, these engineers, they wouldn't design a bike to be easy to fall off of, because that makes them look bad. So these designers of these bikes, they're gonna make them as easy to ride as possible. That way more people buy them. People buy these bikes for a reason. Okay? And again, even if you do have a hard time on it, you will learn how to do it if you stay at it. That could be said with mathematics or science or anything else. Alright? 15-minute video. That's long enough. Alright, peace.